This is a Just a Position podcast where eating ass is breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us. Today we have Steve,
Yo.
we got Randy,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, this is today's show. We don't have, I think we only have one headline, and it's the GTA Trilogy Remake. So that's going to be fucking amazing. But other than that, we're talking about our top five favorite games ever. So retro games, modern titles, should be fun. But yeah,
Whoa, hey. I thought we were doing this the last 5 years.
oh no, is that a problem?
No, but that's all I picked, so that's what I'm going to talk about.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. If you want to alter that to all your shit ever, I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Okay,
Sorry to mislead you.
that's all right.
But yeah, yeah. What have you guys been up to this week? It's only Tuesday, but a lot of shit can happen in 2 days.
I'll go first. So Saturday, my son went off to college.
Nice.
He graduated early, so he's young freshman in college and super proud, but super expensive, super stressful. Obviously, he had to move him on a Saturday, so that was a lot of work. It was move-in day. It was like they gave you 7 days to choose from, and this was the last Saturday, so everyone was fucking moving in. So I had to like move his shit across three campuses. It was nuts. It sucked, but I'm super happy and excited for him. That was big, and then Monday and Tuesday I've just been working and trying to keep the family together.
I feel it. Proud of Vinny. Does the house feel empty without him?
No, because he didn't. He was always in his room.
Oh yeah.
It's no different.
Yeah. Whenever I seen him, it was just for a split second, and then he's just gone again.
Yeah, he's an odd kid, but he's awesome. I love him. Yeah, we're
Vinny's
proud of
hard.
him. Yeah.
For me this week, fucking it. Oh my god. So I'm gonna say this started on Sunday because this is where my shit just went downhill. So I haven't cut my lawn in like a month because it's been raining for like at least like 2 days a week for the past month. And that's not a problem for someone with like an average yard, but my yard is very soft. Like that shit is like a sponge. It holds water for days. So say it rained on Monday, I would be able to cut grass on Sunday if it stayed dry. That's how long it holds fucking moisture for. So
Yep.
I was trying to cut grass, and then I'm trying to like turn in my yard, and the fucking mower won't turn left anymore. Like I'm just spinning the wheel, and that bitch is spinning, and the wheels aren't turning. But I could turn right though. So yeah, I ended up cutting a giant circle in my yard, and it looks like absolute dog shit. So I have to get that fixed. That's something minor, but it stressed me out. And then this morning at 5 a.m., my Facebook account was hacked and fucking nuked into oblivion. Somebody managed to log in, reset my two factor authentication to go to their phone, reset my password, and change the email associated with my account. So I'm completely locked out and I am at the mercy of Facebook's shitty automated tech support. Sent them my ID to verify it was me on the account and they denied it. So that sucked.
How
But
did they deny it? What did they say?
it was a canned fucking auto response from a robot. Like, we have no idea or no way to verify this ID is yours. So like try again in 24 hours or some shit like that. And
What the fuck does that mean?
dude,
Like,
I don't know.
it's
And it was like immediate after I sent it too. So they didn't even look at the shit. And like I have the Oculus VR headset. So obvious or you may know that those are like Facebook tied devices. So if your account that's associated with the Oculus is deleted, banned, locked out, you can't use the headset. It's a paperweight. So that's where I'm at. All of my games are locked. I can't even turn the bitch on really. I just get stopped as soon as it boots up. So that's
God
fun.
damn, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. I
So,
I
I'm sorry. Have you tried going to Oculus to see if you can like create a new Facebook and associate your account with that?
Yeah, that's where I ended up. I was browsing Reddit to see what other people have done, and reaching out to Oculus support is the only way you'll get a human like on the side of Facebook things as far as like account shit goes. So, I mean, I couldn't imagine that working for someone who doesn't have an Oculus, but for me, it kind of works because I'm already in that ecosystem with it. So I have a ticket in with them, but they said allow like 3 to 4 days for a response from someone. So just gotta wait.
And
Yeah,
fuck Facebook is all
fuck
I'm going to say on
Facebook.
that.
As soon as I get my account back, I'm setting like a 200 character long alphanumeric password, and hopefully I'll be safe. But yeah, Randy, what you got going this week? That's all for me.
Man, I'm the worst at this shit. Like, so as a lot of people that that regularly listen, I guess, know, I'm self-employed. I run my own business, and I'm like transitioning from a small team of guys, which is usually just me and one other guy, uh, sometimes two other guys. I think I'm gonna be just myself again. I'm kind of like phasing out having an employee willingly. Like we had both talked about it, and he wants to try something else, and I wanted to try this anyway. So kind of changing up how I do my business without talking about it too much. So that's kind of stressful, but it's really exciting. I'm very happy about how it's been working out so far. My grass was also cut, but not by me. It's the first time I've ever paid someone else to cut my grass. Um, that my yard is also really soft. It holds a lot of water. I'm sure it's not as much as yours. But he actually came while it was raining, and like whenever he like knocked on the door, I was like, I understand. Like, I guess I'll get you next time or whatever. And he's like, no, 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 we good. I'm just pointing out this big ass wasp nest you got. He like took me to the side of my house, and like the biggest wasp nest that I've ever fucking seen in my life, dude. It's like the size of like, I don't know, like a human head. Like, I don't know if that's actually big for a wasp nest, but it's certainly the biggest one I've ever seen, like with my own eyes. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's that's a good size wasp nest.
yard is good. I have all the lawn equipment except for a mower now, so like I can do everything except for mow. Like, I still need to edge because he did not edge, but I mean, it looks good. I mean, that's really all I got.
Word. So like you're going back to working by yourself. Like one exciting thing is that's more bread in your pocket. More
So
Yeah,
work
much,
though.
yeah, so much, dude. Like, I, amongst other things, one of the big transitions is I'm finally raising my prices again. I have not raised my prices since December of 2019, uh, which is about when COVID started to like be like a known thing.
yeah,
Um, and it felt wrong, so I didn't do it. I didn't raise my prices during 2020 because like it just didn't feel right. You know, people were losing
yeah.
their jobs and shit. So I'm not going to be selfish. So I kept my prices the same, and then I've done it up until this point, and here we are, 8 months through the year. So I'm only doing it because in anyone else that has a small service based business will understand this. Like, it gets to a point where you're turning away more money than you bring in, just due to the wait times. Like, I'll get a call. So it usually they want it done like the week of, and sometimes I'm 5 or 6 weeks out, and they just simply can't wait. So I just lost out on, X amount of money that I could have had. So I'm gonna raise my prices again. That will lead to some failed conversions, but it should shorten my schedule up a little bit so that I'm not turning away so many people.
You got your work cut out for you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
But all right. With all that, we ready to roll into the show?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. First or the first and only headline we have is the GTA Trilogy Remake. So Steve, I'll throw that to you. I know you've been reading up on it quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. So it's exciting news, man. It's all but official. They haven't announced it yet, but a lot of outlets are reporting it. A lot of anonymous sources are confirming that Rockstar and Take Two have been working on a remake of the original trilogy. So GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, all the games we talked about very recently. Take Two started issuing DMCA takedowns for GTA mods that have been around forever, and they've ignored. But they've been trying to get those taken down because a lot of them try to modify them, or I should say, modernize them. And if you have that, then it may cut into their pocket. So they've been announcing that. They also announced that they are working on 3 remastered games, but haven't confirmed what they are. But what we do know from our anonymous source is that they are using the Unreal Engine to remaster the games. They are obviously modern graphics, but want to keep the retro style. So the UI, the graphics are all modernized, but look like the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know that new to Rockstar, uh, a company now called Rockstar Dundee is leading the remaster, and they were originally called Ruffian Games. Rockstar purchased them very recently. They're known for working on Crackdown 2 and 3, as well as the Master Chief Collection, which is a pretty well received remaster of classic games. And we think it's going to be late October, early November, but that's been slipping, so we don't know really if that's going to happen. But it looks like what Rockstar wants to do is release this in at the same time that they release the GTA 5 for the newer consoles, the new gen consoles, so PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And there was rumors that they were going to kind of make it a throw-in. So if you buy the new GTA, if we all buy GTA 5 yet again, they may give us this trilogy. But it looks like Rockstar's changed their mind and they're going to release the 3 as a set, but not with the GTA 5 next-gen release. And we think it's going to be for PC, mobile, as well as, all current and next-gen consoles. That's pretty much what we know right now. Hopefully this comes to fruition because I am absolutely looking forward to this shit.
Hell yeah. I would do almost anything to play a newer Vice City. Like that shit with an upgrade would be so fucking cool.
So do we
Absolutely.
know the expected price point? Is it going to be $60? Is it going to be $30?
I haven't seen that. If I had to guess, I'd say 40. That's kind of been the sweet spot for remakes, but I have not seen any pricing at this point.
Would you pay 60?
I probably wouldn't.
Okay.
Would you?
Shit. I would
What did you say?
definitely.
Yeah, I would have to see it before saying yes.
Yeah.
Without seeing it, I know I'd pay 30. But
Yeah.
if it kind of blows me away with the visuals, like I don't really know what they could really do to make me feel that way. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I'll just have to see what it looks like because that's the biggest thing that keeps me from going back to Vice City and GTA 3 is just the graphics just did not age very well.
It's not the graphics for me, it's the controls. They feel clunky, especially Vice
That
City.
yeah
Yes.
yeah I could
But
agree with that too.
I will say I dropped $50 for the Mario 3D All Stars that they released, last year, and I have no regrets on that. And I probably played maybe 3 hours on it. So I did,
And
yeah,
that's wait, hold on, what games were that? Super Mario Sunshine, is that one of them?
yes,
Okay, all right, never mind. Okay, yeah, I could see that one maybe selling for 50. Nintendo is different, and we all know that Nintendo
yeah,
is never going to be cheap.
Yeah.
agreed.
In which since all the hype about this has come out this weekend or last weekend, I actually managed to get the online multiplayer up for San Andreas. Dude, that shit is so weird. Like none of that shit should exist. and the community is actually huge, and the amount of people playing that shit is insane. They have like thousands of servers on there, and they are all like maximum five, like 2 to 500 people, and they are all full. Like people are on that shit. They're all like role play servers or like deathmatch servers or like free roam shit like that.
Are there
It's
modded cars in the game, or is it just like normal assets?
As far as I saw, it was just assets, but there are modded like clothes and items and such.
Okay.
Like I know in San Andreas they never had like on GTA 5 how when you get on a motorcycle you put a helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
They put that into San Andreas, which is it looks goofy as hell, but it's there. And there's
Okay.
also like built-in emotes you can do. There's dances. There's a piss emote, so I was just going around town pissing on stuff. It was pretty funny. And
Can you get fat and skinny and work out?
you can definitely work out. I don't know if it does anything, but I was in the gym learning the new fighting style that you can get. I was running on treadmills. I got a job as a boxer, so I could go around and invite people to a boxing match and just fight on the spot and get money for it. I was also a garbage man, and I would go pick up garbage and getting like $1,400 per trash pickup. And I got my
Damn, bro, I
friend
need to quit my job.
on God. I was I got my friend Jonathan to play it with me, and we got a job together selling hot dogs. We were driving around a hot dog truck and people just run up to you and buy a hot dog. We were getting like $14,000 per glizzy sale. Like
Are these NPCs or
they're actual players.
that's crazy.
It was pretty easy to set up. You just have to download like they call it GTA SAMP or SAMP, like San Andreas multiplayer. It's just a like a server client that you do, and that's it. It's really easy. So if you have the Steam version of San Andreas, you have to get a program called like a GTA downgrader and downgrade the version so you can like enable the mods and stuff on it. But I don't know if I should say this on stream, but but there is a community for cracked versions of it, and they basically give it to you in a bundle. So you just download one thing, and you have the downgraded version and the server client, and you can play immediately. So
And that's what sends people to the crack communities because it's fucking easier.
mhm.
It's all there for you. Just run an installer. Like I own San Andreas on Steam, so for me to get on that, I have to jump through hoops. But if I wanted to be a little shady, I can get the fucking torrent or the bundle easy.
Yeah, it's
Piss me off.
it's just more fun. Like one downside about the mods and stuff or the online, it doesn't have any like NPCs around, so there's like no traffic, no people running around like normal NPCs would. So it's kind of empty in some places, but if you go to like a popular spot where all the players are hanging out, then it's like nothing's changed. It's a great time. And you can also sell drugs in there, so there's like a live chat and there's like phones that you can use to like text people and sell drugs and shit. It's hilarious. If you want to, I would definitely recommend at least trying it since it's so easy.
I'm gonna do that.
Sounds good. I will play with you. But all right. Anything else on GTA Remake? Are we good to roll into our main topic?
I think we're good.
Word. All right. With that, we are now going into our top 5 favorite video games of all time. Sorry that I blindsided you with that, Steve.
It's
But
all
yeah,
good.
does anyone want to go first?
Not me.
Steven?
I'll go first, but I'm going to start with a recent game.
That's perfectly fine. All of mine have been released within the last 5 years, I think.
So the game that I have the most hours in over the last 5 years would be Civ 6. I don't know if any of y'all play Civilization. I've been playing that shit forever. Sid Meier rules. I was a huge fan of the classic Sim City, Sim Ant, Sim Copter, all the all the sim games of the late '90s, early 2000s when I was first getting into PC gaming. I love the shit out of that. I probably have more hours in SimCity 2000. When I get bored after building my city, I would you can trigger the disasters. So sometimes a robot would come and just fucking level your city. It was great. But for me, Civ 6 is my relaxed game. I would launch a game and then put some music on because obviously you don't need to listen to. There's no narrative. There's no story to follow. So that's my game that I like to chill out to. Let me see how many hours I got.
I've
But
I've never played a Civ game, but I'm not gonna say they don't look interesting because they definitely do. What's the like goal of those games? Like, is it just to advance your civilization until you self-destruct it?
there's different game modes, but the one that I play the most often, you win by either you can take over, start war, be a warmonger, or you can advance your civilization with through technology. You make them happy, depending on which civilization you're ruling. Different things will increase the happiness. So it could be like sports, it could be religion, it could be technology. So you focus on developing one of those, and you can win just without ever going to war. But it's more fun to go to war. So that's usually how I do it. And then eventually you can, have a nuclear holocaust, and it's crazy. Uh, and the cool thing about the Civ community is there's the workshop, Steam Workshop, and there's so many things you can add to your game and different ways to play it. So it's a lot of fun. Um, they just released a new game today that looks very similar to Civilization. Um, Let me see, what the hell is that thing
Humankind.
called? Yes, Humankind. Um, it looks really cool. It's developed by Sega, so I like seeing Sega's name out there. But very very similar, at least aesthetically. But I have not played it yet. It's on Game Pass, so I did grab it. I'll get in there eventually. But yeah, really
So,
chill game.
so I have a couple questions for you, Steve. Number one, did you ever play Sid Meier's Pirates?
Yes, awesome game. I still own
Yes.
that. I have the Steam version.
Yeah. That is an excellent game. Believe it or not, I actually played it on an Android phone in like 2013. It was
Oh
ported
shit.
from somewhere, but I played it on there. I don't know if I was playing on it through an emulator or through the Google Play Store, but I fucking loved it. It was an awesome game.
Yes.
Actually, so like one of my like okay, like when I'm playing like any game like Madden, for example, I always use like fake names for like my head coaches and stuff. Like I never put like my name in the game just
Yeah.
because like I don't know. First of all, no NPC looks like me, and it's just not as fun. I don't know. Like it's more role playing. You know what I'm saying? If you use a fake name,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
uh, I was using like a random name generator on Sid Meier's Pirates in like 2013. No, actually, I bet it was like 2014. But that's besides the point. The name that it gave me uh, is the name that I use on literally everything, like to this day. And I don't even think it's a real last name. Um, but yeah, like I use it on literally everything, and it's all because of Sid Meier's Pirates. Okay, my second question is this is on Game Pass for PC. Have you played Crusader Kings 3?
Yes. Yeah. That game's a lot of fun. I'm not that good at it. I just haven't made it enough time to learn the nuance of it. But yeah, it's a fun game. I played it.
I played it for all of like 30 minutes and then realized that I just simply don't have the patience to learn it. But I can appreciate it. It looks like it would be an excellent game.
Yes.
Who wants to
All
go
right.
next?
Uh, let me see. Oh crap. I can give you my list, but I can't speak on all of them for too long. To be honest.
That's okay. I can go if
Okay.
you want to like gather your thoughts or anything.
Well, to be blunt, I don't think it's gonna get more gathered than what I've got already.
Alright.
So, I don't really have these in order because I don't know where the hell I put them. I know, or I feel confident in what my number one choice is. I'm gonna put two games together, even though that's probably cheating. Red Dead One and Red Dead Two. Uh, I'm only gonna put them there just because it's literally the exact same story, like continued. Like it's one huge story, is what I mean. Um, Fucking marvelous. Demetrius and I were talking about this earlier. Like they just simply do not miss. Like the cinematography that's like in the cutscenes, the music. Like I do not like Western or country music, but I love the soundtrack in those games, and they actually put me on to Western movies. After playing the Red Dead games, I'll consider myself a fan of westerns. I don't go too crazy. I watch some of the, like the old Clint Eastwood movies. What is it, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or whatever?
Yeah,
Uh, True Grit, the new one, not the old one.
I
Um,
like the new one.
yeah, the new one's crazy. What? Look, what is the guy's name? What is the actor? He's the one that plays in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, Jeff Bridges.
Thank you, Jeff Bridges. Fucking excellent actor. Like, could not be farther removed from the dude
Yeah.
in True Grit, but he demolishes that role. Like, anyway, like I'm now a fan of westerns because of Red Dead. I've never felt the way that I felt whenever I played those games. Uh, I I don't consider myself a super emotional person, but I teared up at the ending of Red Dead One.
Yeah.
And Red Dead 2 made me very sad. I don't know if it made me tear up, but I know that it made me very sad without spoiling anything on these aging games. But
Yeah.
anyway, uh, that's about all I can say for those because again, I don't want to spoil anything, even though they are, getting up there in age. At least Red Dead 1 is. Breath of the Wild is on my top five.
Uh,
I Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to talk about Red Dead for a minute because Red Dead Redemption, the first one, is probably one of my favorite gaming experience of all time. Fucking love that. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is on my list because I thought we were doing the last 5 years, and that game is definitely at the top for that. So awesome games. I definitely recommend both of them. They immerse. There's the immersion that you get with them is next to nothing that I've
Yes.
had with the gaming experience. And yeah, I can just fucking turn that game on and chill too. That's if you want it to be a chill game, it can be a chill game, and you still have a ton of fun. So highly recommend it and share your sentiments on it.
The content does not end on it. Like
Yeah,
it's like the best implementation of like a sandbox experience. Just again, can't say enough about it, but I will. So yeah, next for me, or do you want me to go ahead and hit up my whole list since I'm not really speaking on them too much?
I'm fine with that. If it's up to Mitri.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Okay. So yeah, Breath of the Wild is on my list. I don't know where I'd put it, but like I said, Red Dead 1 and 2 are definitely 1 and 2 for me. Um, I was never a huge Zelda fan. I've never beaten any Zelda game ever, other than Breath of the Wild. I've played, uh, I don't know, at least half of them. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, for whatever reason, really hooked me and made me stay. The only thing that I will continue to complain about that game is the durability for the weapons. But other than that, fucking excellent game. It's so crazy how immersed that you get whenever Link doesn't even talk. Like there's no voice acting for him at all, and I still like I understand everything he's saying.
Yeah. I
Skyrim. Or sorry, go ahead.
I just want to talk about Breath of the Wild for a little bit, and I know you always roast me for it, but I could not get into that game, bro. I know it's good, and I know like it's to be respected, which I do respect it, but like for some reason it was so like bland to me. Like the music was good. I did like the
Oh my
combat,
goodness.
except for the durability of the weapons. That shit sucked ass. Um, I don't know. I also didn't like the fucking like the weather type shit where you can get hot, cold, and if it's raining and you climb a mountain, you'll slip off. Like I get it,
That's
but
minor though.
yeah, I
Yeah.
understand why it's there. But I don't know, I want to go back and play it. I really do because like I know it's good, but like I just I don't I
So
just can't.
so regarding the weather, about how many hours did you put into it?
I'd say probably about 10 to 12 maybe, and I haven't played
Okay.
since.
Okay, so at least regarding the weather, I would have assumed that you'd probably be approaching this type of stuff at that amount of hours. But like your armor will negate that. You
Okay.
can have armor that negates that. The food that you can cook will negate that. You can buy other items that will negate that. Um, and as far as it being bland, like there are countless things to do, like the seeds that you can find, the like hidden mini bosses, like the stone golems or whatever they're actually called. I don't know. Forgive me. There's so many like detailed things that you could do. The puzzles, man, the fucking puzzles. Like trust me, like you've got to try it again. The only thing that I can think of that you may not be able to negate, but I mean it's been literal years since I played it, uh, is the rain while you're climbing a mountain. But I think that there is like gloves or something that you can wear that will negate that, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
bro, play the shit.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely have to give it another shot. Maybe I just wasn't in the right like mind state to play it at the time.
Play Genshin. Genshin is literally ripped off fucking Breath of the Wild. Just add 72 fucking like animations for every single attack and like all sorts of screaming like anime noises.
I do like screaming anime girls. I actually
Oh, there's at
seen
least one.
like people are working on a VR first person mod for Breath of the Wild. Have you seen anything about that?
I have not, but I'm
Jesus.
incredibly interested.
Dude, it looks really cool. I'll have to send you the link later. But I'll let you continue with your list.
Okay, so this is probably, I mean, these are all kind of cliche answers. Skyrim, again, kind of similar with the Breath of the Wild. I have never beaten any other Elder Scrolls game, nor have I really put in any serious amount of time in any other Elder Scrolls game. But Skyrim is just like it's exactly what I wanted, like for an RPG. Like it's just serious enough, but it's also like not a daunting task to like try to get into. It can be like as intricate as you want, and it just fit exactly like how I wanted to play a game whenever it came out. What was it, like 2011, I think?
Something like that. And I know
Yeah,
the Bethesda sandboxes are just they're always good. Like being in those worlds is so fucking fun, as buggy as they are. That's part of the
yeah,
charm though.
yeah. Skyrim is probably the second most immersed like that I've ever been in a game world behind the Red Dead series. So I mean, immersion is everything for me. Like literally, story, music, graphics, all that is awesome. But like, I mean, Skyrim graphics are not impressive, and I can still play that shit right now and be so fucking happy. Um, so yeah, that's a very easy uh, choice for me. That was probably my most played game in high school, and I hated on it. Like, uh, one of my friends he got it whenever it was just new and he told me to get it. And I like roasted him for it. Like not being like a dickhead, but I was like, okay, Dungeons and Dragons ass nerd or like whatever the fuck I was saying to
Sounds
him.
like you're being a dickhead.
Yeah, I mean I
Fucking
was being a
hater.
dickhead. But like I'm not into shit like that. Like I don't play Dungeons and Dragons or like any of that shit. Like I'm not into stuff like that. Except for Skyrim. Like for whatever reason it fucking got my ass. And I'm not gonna get into anything else that is similar. But whenever Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, I will be playing it.
Solid
And
choice.
then my last one, I kind of just threw this on here because I couldn't think of anything else. Is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 for the PS2. Uh, that shit was so hard. Like back then, I think I was in second grade whenever it dropped. Either no, I was in third grade whenever it dropped. Um, a friend and I would always play it after school, and one of my cousins would always play it as well. Or we would play the first two Budokai games. And whenever 3 came out, I didn't have internet, so like, nor did most of my friends. So everything that we would talk about, like regarding video games, was either completely made up or just like rumors. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this character's in the game, or my brother fought this boss, or like whatever. And like we just kind of like take their word for it. Like we didn't fucking know. We can't disprove any of it. And I wanted to get Budokai 3 because I wanted like Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And my friend was swearing that he's not in the game. 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 And I fucking believed him. And then like one day after like my like 100th hour of playing, I did some shit to unlock him. I don't know if it was in the story mode or what, but I got fucking Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and
Hell yeah.
I never fucking like let my friend live that down. I was like, "Fuck you, bro!" And I got like, and Oop too. Like he was like, "Bro, he's not gonna be in there." But like, I don't know. I'm not into fighting games like I used to be. But in third grade, I only played fighting games, and that was by far the one that I put the most hours into. I wish that uh, the new DBZ games could capture that same feeling for me, because every year that they drop one, I'll try them out, and I just simply don't like them. Like I don't know if they're doing something different or if I just grew out of it.
Yeah. The Budokai shit's like that was one of the highlights of my childhood with a PS2, bro. Like
Yeah,
I don't remember ever not having a Budokai on hand. Like whichever one it was, I don't know. Because you had like the Budokais, then you had the Budokai Tenkaichis. Like there was always a Budokai in the system. So like
the
I
the
definitely feel you on that.
the Tenkaichi, or however the hell you're supposed to pronounce it, that was after the Budokai one. So the Budokai series was predominantly on PS2, and then the Tenkaichi series was like exiting the PS2 era. I think they may have got on PS3. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but the Tenkaichi 3, I had that for the Wii, and
Hmm.
that's probably sixth place for me. That one has the largest roster of any DBZ game, to my knowledge. I know it was at the time, and it probably still is. It was like 100+ characters. Like it had like no name motherfuckers
Yeah.
from like Dragon Ball. Like uh, it just had everybody, dude. It had everybody, and I also put hundreds of hours into that game. But again, like no other DBZ game has a roster like that. Like what are we doing in like 2021 that like our rosters have like 25 fighters? Like what are you doing? You had 100 something back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the roster for that shit, like you said they had no name people, like nothing in that game mattered, like fucking canon or not. Like you had GT bitches in there, Dragon Ball
Yes,
bitches in there, like the whole squad was there. Like
future
any
Gohan with
yeah,
one arm.
yeah, any filler episode boss or character was in that bitch. Like
Hmm.
that shit was amazing. They even had that gigantic fucking bug dude you could
Yes.
fight with.
Uh,
What was his
fuck,
name?
what was his name,
Hyrule.
dude? Yes, Hyrudigon, bro. Like that boy was big as hell. I'd always put him up against like the great apes and shit.
Yeah.
Like, man, it was so good. And you'd have like 8 Gokus: Kid
Yes.
Goku, Teen Goku, Young Adult Goku, Adult Goku, Adult GT Goku. You
Child
know, like
GT Goku.
exactly. Um, they had Baby and Baby Vegeta, like that. They had like 17 Trunks. It was such a good game, dude.
Dude, have you tried like the Xenoverse games? They're probably
Yeah,
similar in like roster size, I would say. They have a lot of fucking people.
I played. I think it was Universe 2. I think you and I actually played it together. If I'm remembering correctly, it was not close. Like regarding roster size, it was definitely a plenty big roster. Uh, but I mean, like it was not touching. Like because like you just said,
Yeah.
like all of like the filler characters, like they just simply didn't have all that.
Yeah,
Um,
if I'm remembering right, they have I think it's mostly just a lot of forms of each character. So like you have
yeah,
Goku, but you also have every single one of his forms. You have Vegeta, same thing. Gohan, same shit. So it's and they're still at like supporting that game if I'm not mistaken. I know that game came out well before the Dragon Ball Super arc started, and they've added all of the super characters into it. So that's pretty fucking cool how they're still supporting it. If you
I'll tell you. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say if you like the Budokai shit, you might want to try. I'm not sure if you've tried it yet, but the Kakarot game.
I have not tried it, but I did watch someone play it on YouTube.
Yeah, I hear nothing but good things about it, and they're still coming out with DLC for it as well. So I was thinking about picking it up, but I think when it came out, it was kind of during like entering COVID shit, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mm.
my money was not free at that time, so I didn't buy it.
Yeah, it came out January 16th, 2020.
Yeah, so that was right when COVID was kicking the fuck up. I got laid off 3 months after that.
Furloughed. You got furloughed.
I was so hurt.
You got a
Yeah,
furlough.
Yeah,
yeah, he got furloughed hard.
they hoed me.
They did.
But yeah, I guess
Um,
is it my turn?
yeah, yeah, it's your turn. Go ahead.
I this isn't in any order. I just have a bunch of games, so they're all great and considered number one in my mind. Fucking Near Automata. Game came out in 2017. I avoided that game uh for 2 years. I knew it was out. I knew it was good, but for some reason I just didn't play it. I don't think I was a gamer at that point. But the thing that got me into it was I followed a meme page on Instagram, and the dude was fucking obsessed with it. So every post he made was about the main character 2B. And then after that, Etika, rest in peace. I've mentioned him again. He actually played it on one of his like final streams. So I was like, after he passed, that was one of the games I immediately played just to kind of like honor him. Basically, he loved it, and like,
That I'm
but
sorry. Yeah, that game is, I believe it's on PlayStation Now, which for some fucking reason I pay for. And that's when I downloaded and intend on playing because I hear good things, but I don't know much about it other than it's that series, the Dragon Guard. I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize if I'm butchering it. Um,
Drakengard.
yeah, that shit's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's highly, people love it. So I wanted to kind of dive into it and experience that shit.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure if it's still on Game Pass, but they did add the uh what is it? Among Gods or some shit like that to it's
Among
like
Us.
sus. But they did add like the deluxe version to Game Pass. It was on there. I grabbed it. I don't know if it's still there, but if you want to grab the full like version of it, I would definitely recommend playing it. The DLCs are awesome.
Okay.
Um but that game, it has so much fucking content. Like there are 26 endings to that game. Only 5 of them are canon though. Like you have to beat the game literally 5 times in a row to see the full story. So like out of the 26, like I said, only 5 are canon, but like the 26 endings, some of them or the rest of them are like joke endings. So say something like you have an objective to go to the right, but you go to the left instead. That's an ending, and it'll end the game. They're lettered like A through Z, um, so it'll be like ending W, like, and it'll be like the W will be in exponents because it's like the letter W, like from the alphabet, and it'll say something like you walk away from battle with the W fucking in exponents. It's pretty cool. It's just little shit like that, but there's hella content there if you just want to explore everything. You play as multiple characters throughout it, so you get to see everyone's perspective of what they're doing when they're not on screen, and you kind of see how it all folds into the same story. And with that, I had no fucking idea because I beat that game, the main or the first playthrough, in like 6 hours, and I was like, "Are you dead ass?" I was like, "How is this game so highly regarded if I just beat this shit in 6 hours?" And I was like I needed more because like when you love a game so much and you finish it, you kind of have like post game depression.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So I was looking online. I was like typing in on Google like, "Is that it for Near?" Like they were like, no, we're not going to say anything else, but you absolutely have to start over and play again. It is a completely different experience. I was like, thank fucking God, let's go. And as soon as I hit continue when I was on the title screen, it was immediately different. So like you'll never get bored with it. You may have to go through like the same story up to a certain point,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
that's small and it goes by quicker the second time because you already know what to do.
that's
But
awesome.
like yeah, it's a fucking game. The soundtrack is easily one of the best in gaming that I've ever fucking heard. The who is it? Platinum Games, I believe that make it. Square Enix and shit. They
Yeah, it is.
they don't miss. The fucking Yoko Taro, the director, story writer of the game, is an absolute fucking madman. His storytelling skills are insane. And the main character, she has a fat ass. And my PC is themed after her. I have a figure of her in my PC. I have a 2B mouse mat that I'm playing on. It's yeah, it's my favorite series. I fucking love it.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, Steve, your turn. What you got next?
All right. So in no particular order, I've definitely talked about this game plenty of times, but Super Mario World, the SNES Mario, I played so fucking much. I still play that game if I'm just feeling, not depressed, but if I'm just in a bad way and I need something to pick me up, I'll throw that game in, and it doesn't matter. I'll start from the beginning and play through it. It's uh, beat it so many times. I love it. I don't know if it's the familiar, if it's the nostalgia, but it's a fucking awesome game. It holds up. The graphics hold up. It's just highly recommend it. I don't know what can be said about it that hasn't been said. It's obviously probably it's always in the conversation for the best game of all time. I don't know if it is, if you really look at games made in 1993 to games made in 2021, can't really compare the two, but it's my all-time favorite game. I kind of throw Super Mario 3 in there, just because I played that one just as much. And if you play it on the Super Mario All Star Collection, it's the updated graphics. It holds its own against Super Mario World. But yeah, I'm kind of cheat throwing those two in. Have you played either of those?
I probably have, but like I didn't play enough to like say anything about. But it's a Mario game, so like I know it's I could pick it up and enjoy it anytime. All those games hold up well.
Yeah, and obviously it's a side scroller. I'm thinking it's probably the last side scroller Mario game, because Super Mario 64 would be the next one in the series. So yeah, it's the side scroller Mario.
Yeah. I kind of going back to what you said about it being like you can turn it on when you're like depressed or whatever. That's the exact same kind of game that Nier is for me. Like I was playing it when we worked together at our previous company, and like some of them days were rough. Like
Yeah.
I went home
Yeah.
sad, like sad or frustrated a good amount of times, and like as soon as I would leave, I'd be like, I gotta play Nier when I get home. Like I've already beaten the shit out of it, but like I just have to play Nier when I get home just to chill with the music and stuff. I definitely understand like the comfort food of it basically.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Comfort food. Yeah, and that's the best way to describe it. It's fucking awesome. I love it. It's my, if I had to pick like one game to play the rest of my life, it'd probably be that.
Yeah, completely get it. Is you want me to go on my next one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Next one, here goes the Persona mention of, of this show. It is Persona. Which one? Because I have a couple of them. Which one do I want to go with? Fuck it, Persona 3. Bro, you already, I mean, you know, that was one of your
Yeah.
favorite games on like PSP or whatever. So like we
Yep.
both share the love for Persona 3. The soundtrack is second to none. That just fucking bangers, man. Like you can't say
Yeah.
anything else. Like they're just bangers. fucking the gameplay was a little frustrating in Persona 3 FES because you can't control your party members.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um I still managed to beat it without it. I mean, obviously so did everyone else because there's no fucking way you could change it. But it's that was the second Persona game I played. Like after I played 5, I wanted to see what the whole series was about, and it kind of threw me off because they were so old and like the art style was kind of bad. Um I mean, it's not bad, but like they're kind of like 3 and 4. I'm not going to say they're like chibi, but like they're not realistic looking at all. They're not. I mean, I guess it's just the art style basically, but once you get into
yeah,
it, you can look past it. They do have like anime cutscenes every now and then, so those are always a joy to get to.
yeah,
And just the storytelling, bro. That game is very dark and depressing, but
yeah,
with that being said, the moments when you're hanging out with your social links, which for those of you who don't know, in Persona, your friends are like the anime trope of friendship is power. So like your
yep,
friends, the more friends you have and the more you hang out with them, the stronger you are basically. So hanging out with your friends during school and like outside of school, that that was always a blast. Like I would love doing the like hangout events because for the female characters, I might just this is a weirdo weeb in me, but like I fucking love dating those girls, bro. Like they're so cute. But yeah, they're
uh,
the fucking girls are just best girl, bro. They're so cute. And like they're kind of believable. I mean, believable as you can be for a fucking anime fake waifu, but
yeah. I don't know how you can say they're realistic or believable, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed that part of the game. That game's fun.
yeah, and
That
like
was. I'm sorry. I was going to
go ahead.
say Persona 3 is the first Persona game I played, and as you said, it's dark as hell. The story, the atmosphere, everything about it is dark. And then you go to like Persona 4, and it's. I mean, there's the plot to Persona 4 is kind of dark. It is dark, but the actual atmosphere, the animation of it's kind of the opposite, and it works in both cases. I don't know which one I would pick out of the two. I absolutely love both of them. But yeah, I recommend that game to anyone. Persona
Yeah,
3 is awesome.
absolutely. I'm going to say that Persona 3 has the best soundtrack out of 3, 4, and 5. Um,
Agreed.
but back to like the darkness of it, like each persona, there's a different way to summon your persona. And just to add to the darkness of 3, to summon your persona, you shoot yourself in the head.
Yes.
So like that was fucking crazy for me to see because like I've never seen anyone shoot themselves in the head repeatedly over and over. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like what am I getting into? And like towards the end of it, I mean, I guess it's okay to spoil because that game is fucking old. So spoiler warning: if you don't want to hear about the ending of Persona 3, click away now. But like at the end of most Persona games, you end up fighting some sort of god. Like that's kind of the thing of it. And like that shit, like from the beginning, you met the final boss. He was a part of you the whole time. And
Yep.
so like I didn't know that at the time because I went in completely blind. And like plot twist of the fucking century, bro. Like I was literally jumping up and down in the living room playing this shit, like holding my head through the controller, screaming like, "What the fuck is going on?" And like most games don't make me do that. Like I'm somewhat emotional, so like shit like in video games usually gets to me. Like I'm not gonna say I sit there and cry about it, but like I'll think about that shit for a while. And like
Yeah.
the final boss of that game, he says like some like speech or some shit, and it's become a meme in Persona 3. Like if you type in Persona 3 meme, you'll see some shit that says like the persona is the means by which all is revealed because he says that like 50 fucking times. The final boss fight of that game took me 3 hours to beat. I didn't die once. It's just long as fuck. because he has a
Mm-hmm.
move. He has a move that can heal his entire health bar, and you're just fucked. You better go into that
Yep.
fight with a bunch of health items and all of that
So
shit.
frustrating. Yep.
Yes, very frustrating. Luckily, I beat it with him only doing that once, but I was still pissed. So I think that's
Yeah.
enough on Persona 3. Iconic fucking game. I literally cried multiple times playing it towards the end. So yeah, I'll listen to that soundtrack now and like get choked up because it's so fucking good.
Yeah. I put that shit on when I'm working. It's perfect background. And I didn't put a Persona. I was debating Persona 3 or Persona 4, but I knew you'd mentioned one of them, so I left it off my list. Um, so the next one I have out is Cuphead.
Ooh.
I absolutely love Cuphead, and I part of the reason that I love that game is it's something that I can play with my wife. I think most people know what Cuphead is. It's a side scroller game with very Disney esque animation and aesthetics. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's frustrating as hell because basically every level is a boss fight in a lot of ways. And it's a pain in the ass. But I love the animation. I love the gameplay. I It's another one. I can't. It's not comfort food because you'll get frustrated and
Yes.
it's controller breaking type of game. But I love it. I don't know if they're making another one. The game is relatively new, 2017.
Yeah.
Um, but I have not seen anything about a sequel, and it was a success. Everyone knows the game, and it's it's frustrating that I haven't seen anything new out of it. But I will go and play that game tomorrow. I fucking love it.
Yeah. I think the most recent things that have been coming out about it is just that they're bringing it to other consoles and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's good to see. And like another cool thing about Cuphead is I mean it's not cool, but or this part isn't cool, but the thing I'm going to say after it is cool, but I never beat it because it was so frustrating. But
Yeah.
one cool thing about it is I think all of the backdrops for it are hand drawn. So like
Yes.
every bit of it of that, I'm not sure if the characters or anything are, but like all of that is hand drawn. So like just the effort that went into making that game look as great as it did is so cool to me.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And I grew up with, I mean, Disney and Looney Tunes were old at the time, but in the early days of cable, you had the Disney Channel and Cartoon Network, and early Cartoon Network was basically the Looney Tune channel. So I watched a lot of old Mickey Mouse animation and a lot of Looney Tunes, Merry Melody type animation, which is very reminiscent of Cuphead is reminiscent of those. So I love it. I love the nostalgia and the gameplay. And I will go play that probably after this.
Oh really? Are you how far along are you on it?
Um, I don't know because I have it on Switch, and a lot of times I can't get my hands on my Switch. One of the kids
Yeah.
will have it, so I don't even remember how far I got on it.
Yeah. I think I got to which boss was it? I think it was the boss that's kind of like a it's like an Egyptian kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like the genie or whatever. I
Mhm.
couldn't beat it. I simply could not fucking beat it, so I quit. But
Yeah.
one day I will go back to it because it. I mean, like you said, the art style is just so good that it'll never like age. Like the art style is just perfect on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. For me, say the next game, best game that I've played would probably be. You may not have heard of it. It's kind of small, I think, but it's called Sakura Wars. Um, Sakura Wars it's a JRPG series. It's really old. I think the first ones came out on like was it PS1 or like Dreamcast? I think. I could be wrong, but they've been around. They did do like a I don't want to call it a remake or a reboot for PS4. It's it's really good. The gameplay, I went into it not really knowing what it was. I just saw cute girls dating simulator, so I bought it.
I do know this. I do know the series. No, look it up. Yeah.
Okay, what were they on? Was it PS1 or was it before
Uh,
that?
Let me see. Well, I'm looking at Shadows Die Twice, right? That's a is that the right series?
No, Sakura Wars, not. I think you might be looking at
Oh,
Sekiro.
yeah, that's I am way off. Yeah, okay.
No, you're good. Probably sounds weird, like due to like internet microphone shit. But but yeah, it was definitely different than what I was expecting, but it turned out to be really fucking good and like really. I don't know if I could say immersive because it's not realism in the slightest bit, but I was invested in that universe for sure. It's like it's definitely a JRPG, but the weird thing is about the combat, there's no leveling up, there's no skills. You just kind of go into the battle with everything that you have from the start basically. So
Mhm.
that was kind of weird. It did get a little stale because like I said about the combat, nothing changed. You never got new shit. But the level design was cool. You like fight in these kind of like steampunk type of robots, and like each character has their own specific like skill type. So like one of the characters is like a small girl from like a ninja clan. So like her robot throws like ninja stars. She can run on walls and shit. She has really good hand to hand combat, just shit like that. Um, yeah, it's really good. The like, it's not really a dating simulator, but like you can get really close with the whole team is girls. Like you're the only guy in the whole shit, so you're getting intimate with with them whether you like it or not. And like one of the draws or not draws, but one of the like highlights of the Soccer Wars series are this sounds so fucking creepy, but they have like bathhouse scenes. And so so like you can choose, there's a choice between either because you meet the girl and she'll say something like, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a shower really quick. Like you better not come peep on me, like I'll
Oh
beat your
my
ass."
god.
And like it'll zoom in on your character and he starts like sweating and there's like a time limit that ticks down. It's like, do you want to go peep on her? Or do you want to peep on her or do you not want to? And of course,
Oh
my
my god.
my ass, I peeped every fucking time. And I got
Of
my ass
course you
beat
did.
for it, but it was worth it. I got an achievement for it. It was awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's hilarious. I've never heard of this. If I
the,
ever figure out how to Google it, I'll look it up.
it's not for you. I'll say that right now. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
not for you.
I
But
agree.
but yeah, it's a really fun game. If you're not into shit like that, it'll probably miss immediately. So you have to be in the specific like I'm not gonna say mindset for it, but if you're into games like that, it's definitely worth a pickup. It goes on sale often on PSN, so definitely pick it up. There's not too much more to say about it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I played it at the beginning of this year and it stuck with me. I bought a couple of figures for it, and if you're watching like the stream or the YouTube video right here, if you can kind of see it, I have a bookshelf full of fucking figures. So maybe I can do a show and tell one episode, but yeah, I have her figures back there. So yeah, that's enough about Sakura Wars. I'll let you go next.
So I have one more that I want to talk about, and I wasn't sure which one to go with. So, but Assassin's Creed, I played a lot of Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Assassin's Creed 2 was the first one I played, and I fucking just fell in love with the game, the series at that point. I love the gameplay. I love the parkour, running around, and the open world, and then I actually like the plot, the Italian Renaissance, and being a part of history on that level. It's corny, but I really just enjoyed it, and the storyline. It's been done a million times. Assassin's Creed is pretty much going to the same well, but I think Assassin's Creed 2 is one with the best execution. I tried to play it recently, and I just couldn't. I don't know if it was the controls or just I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I remember distinctly on PS3 just fucking playing hours. And and probably excuse me, probably one of the last games that I actually 100% completed. And yeah, that game is fantastic. I did not couldn't get into it on PC, but the PlayStation 3 version of it was fucking awesome. And Black Flag is up there as well, but I feel like that one's kind of in some ways a departure from the Assassin's Creed mode. Um, but yeah, loved it. Did you play any of the Assassin's Creeds?
Yes, I did. I had a friend who like that was his whole shit. Like I have Persona, his thing was Assassin's Creed. He's played absolutely all of them, so I saw how much he enjoyed them and actually borrowed some of his games for 360. I think the only one that I remember putting a lot of time into was what was it? I think it was Brotherhood. I think Assassin's Creed
Mhm.
Brotherhood. Um, that was pretty fun. I don't. I'm pretty sure I beat it, but it was so long ago I can't remember. But I know the games are good up until like I think after Black Flag was when they started sucking, wasn't it? Or not
Well, I
sucking, but
know
not being as up to par as like one, two,
the
three.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Assassin's Creed 3, which is the American Revolution, I really wanted to love it. I like American history a lot. But the game was buggy as fuck and it just didn't work for me. It had every reason to be a success. So I feel like that's when it started dipping. But then obviously Black Flag comes right after that. But yeah, I have Syndicate, Origins, Odyssey. I own them and I've played some of them, but yeah, they either it's the same concepts, just a different setting, and it just doesn't hit on the same level. And I would say that Origins is pretty good. Haven't put nearly the time into it, but and I own Valhalla because it's a next gen game, and you might as well own all of the next gen games because there's so few of them, and it's fun. But again, it doesn't hook me. I don't get as immersed as I did with two and Black Flag.
Yeah. I I wanted to start playing them again, but that was after I learned that they'd started like shitting the bed. I wanted to get into I think it was Unity. That was like the one that they marketed as like the co-op like online sort of thing. I think that was one that took
Mhm.
place in like what, like London or something.
I want to say that's the French Revolution one. Let me check real quick.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that's the French Revolution.
okay. So it was like the one you think they said you could do like heists with your friends and stuff like that. But I remember that game being probably one of the buggiest ones they've ever released, and that kind of turned me off of it. Which it's good to
Yeah.
see now with what was it, Odyssey and what's it now, Valhalla.
Yes.
Those are like back. I'm not gonna say fully back to where Assassin's Creed used to be, but I know people have absolutely loved those ones recently.
Yeah. I would say Valhalla is a worthy pickup. You can get it really cheap discount. And it's a lot of fun. I've gotten pretty far in that. I haven't picked it up in a few months, but it is a good game. It's worth your time.
Yeah, I may pick it up, especially because it's a next gen title. Might as well give it a shot, see what what the console is looking like with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my last one. Do you have another one you want to talk about?
Yeah, this will be my final one as well. It's two games kind of rolled into one because they are technically the same game, one with just more content. It is this is probably going to be my last time talking about Persona for a while because I mean, I got to do it. I got to do it.
I
Um
don't believe you.
Oh, I'm definitely going to talk about it, but I'm just trying to get it out of my system because all I want to do is talk about it, and none of my friends have played it, so I can't talk about it. So yeah, um, last game for me is going to be Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. Um, Persona 5 released, it was heavily delayed. I think they announced it in like, uh, I, I want to say 2013, 2014. They announced it. It may have been earlier than that, but it was delayed up until 2017 when it finally released. And it was a good game. Obviously because I'm fucking obsessed with Persona now because of it. I put over 200 hours into my first playthrough. Um
Wow.
and they released Persona 5 Royal like last year, I believe,
Mhm. Yep.
early last year, and that was
March.
yep, that was when I got furloughed from my job. So I bought that game with my very last paycheck that I got from working there, and I kind of chilled with it the whole time I was furloughed. So I sunk as much time into that as I could. And Persona 5 Royal was what they said to be was what they wanted the game to be, but they didn't have time to finish it due to like delays. They just wanted to put the game out, so they kind of pulled out that extra content from it. So Persona 5 Royal has that's like the full experience. That's what the game should have been from the start. So
Okay.
it has extra characters, extra team members that you can put on your team, and a whole new semester after the Persona 5 vanilla ended. So that was fucking amazing to see. I went into that game knowing only that. I didn't know when it was starting, but I knew that it was coming at some point, and it was a fucking blast. Like immediately from the jump, the game was different. It had more dialogue, more people to hang out with, more personas to use, more places to hang out. Yeah, it was just more music. First, like can't forget about
Yeah.
the OST. That had some more music on there, and yeah, I finished Persona 5 Royal, which Persona 5 I put, like I said, over 200 hours into. I put about 250 into Royal because I was furloughed, so I had literally nothing to do. I know, like,
That's awesome.
what, me getting furloughed?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, being jobless is hard.
You had something to do though.
Yeah. But yeah, I put like 250 hours into that shit. I milked the absolute fuck out of it. I was really close to platinuming it, but I didn't care enough to do it. I just lost interest, I guess, because after Persona, uh, after Persona 5 Vanilla, I wanted to go back and play 3, 4, and the Persona Q games, which
Yeah,
I wanted to put the Q ones on this list, but I don't want to make my whole list Persona. But
I like the Q. The Q games are
dude, they're
good.
so fucking good. Some of the best music in the series are on those DS
You
games.
said that about every one of
And I'm
them.
not wrong. I'm simply not wrong. But but yeah, fucking amazing game. Like that game resonated with me like really hard because I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
We know that because I'm obsessed with 2D women. But but yeah, it was a great fucking game. Like Persona 3, I cried on that bitch multiple times because it's just so fucking good. Like I cannot stress how good the story is. You haven't played it, you need to go play it
I haven't.
immediately. Like there's a reason I
Persona
have
5 Royal.
yes, there's a reason I have a
Okay.
whole Persona shelf here. Like I have a whole shelf of figures dedicated to Persona. I've spent more money than I would love to admit on Persona shit. But
So what is the difference between Persona 5 and Strikers?
yeah,
What is Strikers?
Strikers is a whole new game. It's not associated like a spin-off, or I mean it is a spin-off, but like it's
It's the
not
same characters, right?
yeah, same characters, different adventure. In which
Okay.
fuck it. I'll talk about Strikers too because it's Persona 5.
Damn it.
But yeah, it's well, I'll finish my like Persona 5
Ah,
Royal
you're good. I'm just
rant.
fucking with you.
But but yeah, the game was fucking amazing. After I beat it, I obviously got post game depression. So
Hmm.
that's why I went back and played 3 and 4 because I just loved Persona at that point so much. Um fucking what was I about to say? I had like a brain fart. Oh, when I stopped playing the game, it felt like I left a group of friends behind. Like say like I moved to town and I wouldn't see my friends again.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. Just the characters were so good. And yeah, and then this takes me to Strikers. I fuck like literally on the opening scene I teared up. I'm such a like such an emotional bitch, but like I teared up because it felt like I was going to see my friends again. Like and we're going on like this cool fucking summer vacation. But yeah, that's the whole like premise of Strikers. You meet back up with your friends and there's more shit going on. So it started out as you going on like a summer vacation trip and then you run into some weird shit and yeah,
Mhm.
so completely new experience, same characters from 5. It is the only Persona game that is on the Switch. So it works well on the Switch. So hopefully that opens the doors for more Persona games to be on the Switch.
Yeah.
But yeah, great music in that one as well. Strikers was it's not your typical Persona game as far as like the combat goes because it's a action RPG basically. It's what they
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
a Muso game, kind of in the same vein of like that Zelda game that came out recently. It's
Mhm.
like I can't think of the name, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you still get to use personas in it, but it's all like happening real time, no turn based combat thing. It took a little to get used to because that was my first Muso game, as they call it. But it worked really well with the personas. Like it didn't feel like a Muso game. It felt like Persona, and that was really great to go into.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna pick up Persona 5 Royal because it's about $25,
Yes,
and
sir.
I will play it.
Yeah, and you might not have enough time to finish it because, like I said, I I
I
put
never do.
I put 250 hours into that bitch because I wanted to, but you're not finishing it without a minimum of like 75, I would say. So it's definitely a time sink, but it is so fucking worth it.
Okay. All right. I can accept that.
Yeah. But that's it for me. Do you got anything else?
No, no. I mean, obviously, I love Persona. I can't pick between Persona 3 and Persona 4 because they're both so fucking good. Um, and the only reason I haven't picked up Persona 5 is because I know I don't have the time to really get the best out of it, and I'm going to want to. And there's nothing worse than owning it.
I think I'm back now. My internet kind of died, but I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. The hopefully everyone enjoyed this. Let us know what games we missed, what games we should play that we haven't. I mean, throw us some suggestions, throw us some love. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and just to do like a quick I mean, it's not like a plug or anything like that, but there is a Pokemon Direct tomorrow morning. We're not going to stream it because it's like at fucking 8 a.m. and we're all adults who work at that time, working on
yes,
cringe 9 to 5s. But yeah, we will be watching it and more or less reacting to it. So yeah, look forward to that. I don't think we'll put it out as far as like the audio platforms go because we kind of need you to see what we're seeing to know what we're screaming about. But yeah, it'll be up on YouTube. So yeah, if you're into Pokemon and want to see us react to it, catch it on the YouTube. And I think that's it from us.
yeah. Appreciate all you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Share us with your friends. Tell us if you hate us. Tell us if you love us, and tell us what you want to see and hear from us. But yeah, we'll
Yes, I was just gonna say, rate and review us on iTunes. Let us get us up there on Apple and get us suggested so we can find a new audience. We love you, but we want to, we want more.
yeah, we want your mom as well. So
Always.
yeah, just to reiterate what Steve said, we are finally on Apple Podcasts. So if that's your favorite platform, definitely go check us out, review us there. It took a hell of a lot of work to get there, but we're finally there. So yeah, with that, we are going to head out. Thanks for tuning in.